and hopefully Sapphira does well with her treatments. At least she doesn't have to worry about getting to those treatments.
Yeah, big kudos to all involved there. That was special.
Great story.
Absolutely.
All right, Lace, how are we looking for a Wednesday? It's hump day.
It is. We've made it to the middle of the week, and guys, a warming trend is on the way. So many folks like, oh, it's spring break. It's been so cold. We've had snow. We've had sleet. It's been chilly. Today, average temperatures are on the way, but that comes with a lot of wind. South winds start to pick on up. Right now, we're quiet across Oklahoma. No precip flying. Wind advisories being posted. You can see snow flying in Montana, and then a lot of moisture back down into Southern California. And as this wave makes its way across the Rockies, our winds stay strong. Eventually, rain and storms coming back into the forecast, and even a wintry mix making our way into tomorrow and early Friday morning. Right now, on our Lucky Star Skycam network, we are dry in Oklahoma City. We'll see a lot of sunshine again today, kind of a mix of sun and clouds into the afternoon. 30s and 40s is where we are currently. 37 Clinton, 43 Woodward. Winds are 5 to 15, gusting close to 30 in the west. Now they're much stronger, and especially as you get out into the panhandle, gusts approaching 40 miles per hour. So you factor that in, it feels like the 20s, the low 30s today. It's a cold start. We're not seeing summertime temperatures. We are not there yet as far as that warming trend goes, but we will be closer to average today. 58 at noon, 64 by 3 o'clock. And here's the wind column. Winds 15, 25, 35, close to 40-mile-an-hour gusts heading into the afternoon right here in central Oklahoma. 60s, 70s in southwestern Oklahoma, 70 degrees in Altus. It'll be 76 today in Guyman behind the dry line that starts to set up. So warmer air out towards the west. Into water vapor imagery, looking at the big view, it's a lot easier when you look at this view to see the waves of storms headed our way. There's a storm, an area of low pressure coming out now over Oregon. That's going to make its way off towards the east, another one over California, and those kind of merge together. The energy with that is what will spark storms heading into tomorrow. Tonight, look how warm we are. Our temperatures are in the 50s, average low in the 40s. It's going to be very mild overnight tonight and very windy. You will hear those winds howling through the overnight hours. Tomorrow, we may nudge up into the 60s and 70s very briefly around lunchtime, but by 3 p.m. tomorrow, as folks are out and about, temps in the 30s in the Panhandle, 40s in the northwest, 58 degrees at 3 o'clock here in Oklahoma City, and then 60s and 70s to the south. So it's easy to pick out where our storm chances will be higher, where we're warmer tomorrow, where we're more unstable. There's a brief window in the metro from about noon to 2 p.m. where if we get storms to form in this zone, they could briefly become severe. But that higher threat is down to the south and especially down to the south and east. What will happen is here's 10 o'clock tomorrow. Warm Gulf air is raging on in. As the cold front sets up, that pushes down to the south. And what I'm showing you here is future instability. That's going to be in the moderate category tomorrow. And that's fuel for storms. That's storms that can develop in this zone. They would have a lot of fuel to explode rapidly. Updrafts would become strong enough to sustain some pretty large hail, damaging winds, and there will be a tornado threat within this as well. That low-level spin will be quite high in portions of Oklahoma tomorrow. So future next gen taking you through today is quiet. Tonight we may have a few spotty showers develop and maybe even a rumble of thunder. We look mostly dry. Tomorrow morning we'll be tracking rain in far eastern Oklahoma, and then the storms try to take off midday into the early afternoon. And some data suggests these are isolated storms ahead of the cold front for a little while, and those storms we will have to monitor very closely. We will. Trackers will be out. Meantime, cold enough for snow in the Panhandle, and these storms will be rocking and rolling by the late afternoon, and by the evening they are completely out of the area, and we look mostly dry into Friday morning. So tonight, a chance of rain mainly eastern Oklahoma. Tomorrow afternoon, 60% chance in Oklahoma City, 80 down to the southeast. Meanwhile, tracking a cold rain, a wintry mix in the northwest. By tomorrow evening, the storms are out of here, and there's that wintry mix. Not expecting travel problems. We may get a little sleet, a little snow mixing in at times in the northwest. The severe threat, nickel-dime size hail possible in the metro. You get further south, quarter to maybe even golf ball size hail. Some data suggesting these updrafts may be able to sustain a couple tennis ball size hailstones in the far southeast. As far as damaging winds go, 50, 60, 70-mile-an-hour winds possible. And the overall tornado risk is low tomorrow, but it is up some once you get down to Ardmore, Ada, McAllister, Hugo, and Idabel. And again, we'll be tracking the storms in that area. Much colder Friday. Here's your St. Patrick's Day. 40s for highs. Chilly into the weekend, especially the mornings. And there's a couple opportunities for rain and storms next week. Back to you guys.